Zee and Per is an exhibition by Marvin, Gaye, Chetwynd, in which she concentrates her performance practice into a series of ambitious new paintings. These are not paintings in the conventional sense, however, but rather giant wall-mounted structures in which she explodes the distinctions between painting, photography, performance and sculpture. Each painting here is a kind of anthology of Chetwynd's long-running interests and her previous performances. So we have references to bats, to the paintings of Giotto, for example, or the Victorian pictures of Richard Dadd, and numerous other themes that have appeared throughout her work. This exhibition aims at an expanded definition of what painting is, or what it might be. You see Chetwynd compressing into the borders of each picture the cacophonous imagery and the different narratives of her previous performances. And this idea of painting as a kind of performance, or painting as a fluid entity, is reflected in the title of the show, Zee and Per. These are gender-neutral pronouns which reflect this idea of fluidity, an expanded sense of the self, and Chetwynd is applying that idea of expanded definition to painting itself. In many of her performances, Chetwynd has created scenery out of giant photocopied paper, and here you see these photocopies concentrated into a picture, and they form the backdrop to sculptural reliefs. So you find, for example, a giant rubbery bat leaping out of an image of a Richard Dadd picture, or a witchetty grub curling over a scene of Livia's villa, an ancient Roman fresco. In other situations, you see Chetwynd framing a photocopied image in a large gilt but also quite toy-like frame. There's also a sense here in which painting itself can be performed. If you look at some of the props that seem to have been stuck onto the front of the pictures, you could actually take them off and perform them yourself. For example, the grub here has been strapped onto the front of the painting using red strips, and you could actually untie it and release it and turn it into a performative object if you wanted to. This whole exhibition is a kind of panorama, visually a giant panorama, but also historically it stretches all the way from the ancient frescoes of Pompeii through to modern cinema.